And then I wrote all the narration once I knew what our beats were. So you've got E.T., a couple of movements. It's not all just one track. We listen to the soundtracks and kind of combine some things together to really kind of create our moments and our moods. E.T., Back to the Future, Gladiator is featured during the Good versus Evil section. And then there are two other tracks that were put in because I felt they were an emotional value. They may not have been a well-known Universal film, but definitely the music. We've got James Horner with the Casper soundtrack. That's how the show opens. That score is gorgeous. And I listened to the score before I knew it was in that movie. I hadn't realized it. It was on my iTunes, and I was like, oh, this is a gorgeous piece. Oh, it's a Universal film. Oh, it's Casper. Cool. All right, great. I'm putting that in the opening. And then right after that, 100 Years, 100 Seconds is a film that it was really selfish on my part. It's The Last Starfighter by Craig Safin. It is an awesome piece of music, and it was a Universal title. So I was like, I have to put this in because that's a score that I've always loved since that movie came out. And again, not a film you'd know, not a score that was well known, but that was okay because I really wanted the clips to shine there. That let that music carry the emotion and not the film that it was based on, you know. What else am I missing? Prelude from Psycho. Cape Fear opens the horror section and leads into Prelude from Psycho. There's a little bit of a Jaws nod there in the middle with the fin fountain. And then we end with, we kind of roll back into Cape Fear after it's done. Laughter incorporates many tracks from Liar Liar. It's a nice, bouncy, fun track. And again, that's all I was looking for that section, was something that was light, upbeat, had kind of a comedic feel, almost vaudeville. Then we go into Gladiator for Good versus Evil. What's next? Triumph is Dragonheart. Amazing piece. It's been used in trailers for years. It had the emotional tone. It kind of begins almost sad, and then, you know, right near the beginning, it becomes very triumphant. That was something that really resonated with me with that track. And then that then bleeds into Apollo 13. And then we come into E.T. right at the very end. And that was the first piece of music I put in. This show had to end with E.T. You cannot get more grand than John Williams. So that was a no-brainer for the end of the show. And also that film being very close to my heart, it was a no-brainer. So yeah, there's an overly long explanation of the tracks in the show.
Anyone else?
You say the show obviously is a tribute to a century of Universal filmmaking. What about attractions here at Universal Studios? A lot of Back to the Future, a lot of Jaws. Would you have that in mind when selecting the films?
Sure. I mean, Universal was on the brain. I mean, again, you cannot go into this edit without those classic films in it. If they weren't in it, I would probably get dragged and beaten across. You know, they had to be, and then I wanted them to be in. Those are the films that have stood the test of time. So yeah, of course, that absolutely went into it. Being here for 16 years, seeing those attractions when they were here, yeah, they resonated. So yeah, that absolutely went into it. Who else?
Was it your idea to have the films that have music in there, or the studio?
It was both. It was both. We kind of came to the meeting wanting that. Obviously, we want this show to kind of evolve a bit as new films come out that resonate with guests and audiences. This is the perfect medium to be able to do that with. So yeah, that was a mutual want.
How would you succinctly describe the show? Is it Lagoon Show? Is that the easiest way to call it? I mean, obviously, Fountain Show is not accurate.
Yeah, no, this is a Lagoon Show. It's a tribute. Yeah, this is our Lagoon Show. It exists. I mean, it's been here since day one. So to be able to use it, yeah, this is a brand new Lagoon Show. It's a cinematic spectacular. Music, fountains go away.
Aww.
Who else?
Is this show expected to go on past December, like in the next year? Or?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that, about the length. I don't see why it wouldn't. Obviously, this year is incredibly important because this is the 100th anniversary. But past that, we're kind of going to see what happens. Yeah.
you kind of worked in, like you mentioned with Jaws, the fountains, and I noticed like in Psycho when, you know, the knife and the red fountain. So is there a lot of those little touches where you kind of like couple the water, like the thing that you have to kind of really be looking to notice?
Yeah, I would say, you know, 95% of the time, those fountains are linked to the music. I wanted them to be a visual companion to what you're hearing in the track, knowing that the music was going to be a bed, there's tons of audio stems on top. I wanted something visual that your eye could kind of attach to while you're watching the screens. But yeah, of course, you want to pick out those moments. Awesome tribute to Jaws. You know, when a create a fin, you have the water zip by like it's going through the water. And those were just fun little things we kind of discovered along the way as we were kind of creating what the fountain schematic was going to be. But yeah, where we could, we definitely did little hints and little almost Easter eggs in the fountains to kind of help the show along.
Any last questions before we go?
When you watch it now that it's done, what do you feel?
Elated. I feel great. When we did there was a piece of concept art that had I think it was released. It was the moon, the ET moon with the bike and all the blue fountains across the entire lagoon. Every time I watch the show and that moment happens, I think of the concept art and I'm like, yes, the concept art, and that's any designer's dream is when the concept art even halfway resembles what you see out in play. And for that moment and most of the moments in the show, yeah, we achieved what we set out to do. Anybody else?
All right. Anyone else? No?
Cool. Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for the question. Great questions. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. It's like I said, it's a love letter. It's been an awesome time.
What are you working on next?
I jump right back into Halloween Horror Nights next, and there's still doing some things to this puppy here, and but yeah, Halloween is my next focus. The team's already been working on the event, but I'm kind of jumping in to figure out, okay, where'd we land, that kind of thing.